Yes, I understand that every life must end. As we sit alone, I know someday we must go. Yeah, I'm a lucky man to count on both hands the ones I love. Some folks, they got none, yeah, others, they got just one. Stay with me, or let's just breathe. Just breathe. Practiced all my sins, never gonna let me win. Under everything, just another human being. Yeah, I don't want you to hurt. There's so much in this world to make us bleed. Stay with me, you're all I see. Oh, did I say that I need you? Oh, did I say that I want you? Oh, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come clean, I wonder every day as I look upon your face. Everything you gave and nothing you would take on. Nothing you would take. Everything you gave. Did I say that I need you? Oh, did I say that I want you? Oh, if I didn't, I'm a fool, you see. No one knows this more than me. As I come clean, nothing you would take. Everything you gave. Oh, hold me till I die. I'll meet you on the other side.
Seems like yesterday we used to rock the show. I laced the track, you locked the flow. So far from hanging on the block for dough. Notorious, they got to know that life ain't always what it seemed to be. Words can't express what you mean to me. Even though you're gone, we still a team. Through your family, I'll fulfill your dreams. In the future, can't wait to see if you open up the gates for me. Reminisce sometime, the night they took my friend. Try to black it out, but it plays again. When it's real, feeling's hard to conceal. Can't imagine all the pain I feel. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you're still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you.
It's kinda hard with you not around. Know you in heaven smiling down, watching us while we pray for you. Every day we pray for you, till the day we meet again. in my heart is where I keep you, friend. Memories give me the strength I need to proceed, strength I need to believe. My thoughts big, I just can't define. Wish I could turn back the hands of time. Us in the six, shop for new clothes and kicks. You and me taking flicks, making hits, stages they receive you on. Still can't believe you gone. Give anything to hear half your breath. I know you still living your life after death.
Every move I make, every single day, every time I pray, I'll be missing you. Thinking of the day when you went away. What a life to take, what a bond to break. I'll be missing you. Somebody tell me why. One bad morning, when this life is over, I know I'll see your face.
Every night I pray, every step I take, every move I make, every single day. Every night I pray,
Every day that passes is a day that I get closer to seeing you again. We miss you, babe, and we won't stop, cause we can't stop. That's right. We miss you, babe.
Up there? No, unfortunately, we're not able to put it up. Okay. Push down, Cade. There you go. Push harder. Harder. Good. Get the stretches out.
Prayers, as well as placing the mandala blanket over your dear loved one. After we finish placing the mandala blanket, we will come back into the family altar, where we will do prayers, which will consist of also an offering of food and tea. And so when it is time for you to pour tea, it is 3 separate occasions, so remember to pour a little bit each time. And for getting the food, when we have an offering of food, make sure to use the chopsticks and place a little bit of food into the rice bowl, and then place the chopsticks facing into the rice bowl as soon as you are done. Once we finish the prayers at the family altar, we will have a few words from the Most Venerable Abbot and myself, as well as sharing the floor for the family and friends to say eulogies and thank yous as well. So, as the family is all here, may I also ask the Most Venerables to be invited over into the Buddha altar, as well as the family members. The immediate family members, please rise up and join us in front of the altar as well.
Vàng thuốc từng kiếm hoàng minh hồn đài biến pháp nhóm cũng dường thục phương tam bảo nam mô cung dương bồ tát nam mô cung dương bồ tát nam mô cung dương bồ tát sức tha pháp thầy nhập ơn thượng thừa Phật lực tất cả ơn được đang Phật quốc nam mô chúng mình rồi một con tên tuần tuần lấy thuộc diện lấy mang Phật tại thế gian thường cũng một tâm vô sự bóc tôi đây chế con đảnh lời nam mô tòng con biến tam giới hóa hiện vị lai nhập chư bồ tôn tam miền năm tâm thường trú tam chư con đảnh lời nam mô ta bà giáo chúa điều ngự bốn sư thích ca mâu ni phật đưa lai sanh đi lần tôn phật đại thế văn thù sư đại bồ tát đại hạnh vô hiền bồ tát thân bồ tát chư tôn bồ tát linh sa hội trường pháp môn chư tôn đảnh lời nam mô tây phương cực lạc thế giới đại từ đại bi a di đà phật đại bi hoàng thế âm bồ tát đại thế chí bồ tát đại nguyện địa tạng vương bồ tát anh thuần đại ai chúng bồ tát ngã kim non phụ đường cung tùng ô trai tôn thanh can đồ bồ tát can đồ bồ tát nan bồ can đồ vương bồ tát ma tát nam mô a di đà phật 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 nam mô nam mô a di đà phật nam mô a di đà phật nam mô nam mô a di đà phật 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 nam mô nam mô a di đà phật nam mô a di đà phật nam mô nam mô a di đà phật nam mô a di đà phật nam mô nam mô a di đà phật nam mô a di đà phật nam mô nam mô a di đà phật nam mô a di đà phật nam mô a di đà để hồi hướng công đức cầu nguyện cho hương linh được quán sanh và liền Phật phúc. Xin quý tăng quyến hãy cùng với hương linh sám hối nghiệp chướng và quy y sa mã. Xin chư vị hành tâm đọc theo sau. Please repeat after me. Đệ tử chúng con chí thành quy phục quy pháp quy tăng đệ tử chúng con chí thành quy phục quy pháp quy tăng đệ tử chúng con chí quê hương lưng pháp danh nhập ân chí tâm sám môn nam mô cầu sám môn Bồ Tát 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 a tôn con duyên tội
Thiên thân đạt trước bồ đề địa cư túc tuyển đánh bát nhà thuyền nguyện độ hương hồn quy Phật quốc cứu liên bóng túc vạn tây phương thương hương tràng pháp duyên trai hội nhiên lai kiều thinh hương linh lai phó tự kế xưa quy thái pháp nhân nhập pháp chi hai để sanh tử có đôi đường này có thiết cung linh trước án tuyển tuyến đặt tâm minh siêu độ đàn thị thiên hương lịch sử tình vô kiềm hương an chu hành thủ cho phi quay kinh thành mẫu này khô thái bao đề kia nó thay Tên Hoàng cho sinh Hoàng lúc theo cơn rí san rí sinh hiệp thần Hoàng trần thần thái trôi theo cơn xây đi an rí sinh hiệp hoàn nhà quyên nam nữ chúng nàng hiếu nàng phường phẩm thích lợi nhập hoàng thành phúc kỳ siêu độ thương linh sở Tấn dòng vàng sơn trai ni cùng tiếng vũ thầm tiếng phùng vì lâm cánh thầm tớ bao huynh khi trạc phi thái thọ tam quý pháp nhân nhật thăng trương linh quyền sanh nhật 3 tháng năm 2004 bằng phần ngày 30 tháng 8 năm 2023 dòng 19 tuổi chỉ quên hương linh trường thờ Phật lập vang sanh Phật quốc trong thương hoa thứ quý mạo niên bác quyền bác nhật thời thiết chi nhất như lai tâm kiền thành tề trăm sơ tuần sơ yến mộng huỳnh lương nhân sanh thế vị thường nhắc tiêu thương hai điên như dịp thường ngưng sương lệ bay phụng thực cây can lộ Phật cung lễ siêu độ hiến dân nguyện hương linh dính giam tâm tình nghĩa gia bốn biên thực biên thủy dân môn văn dương thủy tụng nam mô tát bà tát bà đồ chi đế ám tát bà hồng lời lên nam nam bà ta hồng nam mô tát bà đồ chi đế ám tát bà hồng nam mô tô rô bà gia bát địa phan tô rô bát gia kiền thành trà trăm nhi tuần được hương như ai rằng Phật lực đây về đây thích pháp thanh kinh hương mong công giá ôi linh chén cơm bát nước tâm tình hiếu dân lễ
chưa quỳ thái thất nhân nhập thân tư thượng thừa Phật lực tóc xéo đồ keo đến Phật quốc miệng linh xe thứ thân như chứng pháp thân như chư ác đạo như quy tục Phật đạo theo như Phật sự diễn phúng triều âm lễ thành phục tiến thực dĩ hoàng nguyên đến kiền thành lễ tạ hương linh bái nguyện và thầy thay mặt toàn thể ban quyến con đây đầu cung kính hòa thượng thức nguyên lý kỳ pháp ban bố cho gia đình bao giờ pháp.
Bây giờ này thì cháu đã bệnh viện ra đi. Cháu ra đi nhưng cháu đã để lại một nỗi tiếc thương vô cùng trong một cha mẹ thông minh quyến phụ mà bạn bè xa lắm. Và điều đó cho thấy là khi tình liên nói dù không phải là huyết thống chứa con người và con người là thực tế không thể phủ bác được. Chung phí của lệ rất là buồn, tuy nhiên nó còn nhẹ cuộc đời rất là vô thường. Life is impermanent. Life is uncertain, but death is certain. Cuộc sống không có gì chắc chắn cả. Nhưng khi sự chết là một điều chắc chắn, ai cũng sẽ bạn đúng. Tuy nhiên nếu còn về chết không phải là hết. Sau khi chết chúng ta sẽ sống lại, sống trong một cái đời sống khác, một cái đời sống đó tôi thì thuộc vào cái nghiệp mà chúng ta đã tạo ra. Những cái nghiệp mà cháu Cade Thái và gia đình ông đã tạo là thiện nghiệp. Và của cái thiện nghiệp đó và những cái năng lượng thanh tịnh mà chúng ta đã vận dụng để nhập tâm con người, chúng tôi tin rằng là hương linh của cháu Cade Thái và gia nhập ông được đức Phật A Di Đà từ bi lý vọng về cõi Phật. Ở cõi Phật cháu sẽ sống lại. In will live. He will live forever and truly enjoy peace and happiness. Because you are a wonderful child. You are praise to all of us. You are a virtuous and blessed and compassionate life.
Chúng tôi quen biết một gia đình quý vị từ nhiều chục năm. Khi mà bà cố hay là bà nội, bà ngoại của anh, nó của bà thường gọi là bà bốn kèo gương về chùa Dương Bác ở tại thành phố An Giang lúc chùa vẫn thành lập. Và dù bà đã qua đời nhiều năm nhưng mà tôi vẫn nhớ. Chúng tôi rất là kính trọng, rất là quý bà cùng chúng tôi xem mọi người trong gia đình cũng như là những người trong nhà. Do vậy mà khi sự mất mát của gia đình quý vị cũng chính là sự mất mát của chùa. Chúng tôi xin chia sẻ sự mất mát này của gia đình quý vị. Thành kính con ngu cùng với ông phụ của cháu là anh Jeffrey Whitkin và ông mẫu của anh là cô với cô Thái, cũng như là tất cả thân bệnh của anh phụ. Chúng tôi nguyện Đức Phật từ với chứng minh gia hộ cho tất cả quý vị được may mắn, được mạnh khỏe, được trường thọ và thành công. Gia đình quý vị nhiều chục năm quen biết có cái chuyên làm rất lớn đối với chùa nhiều quá. Do vậy mà xin quý vị cứ xem chùa là nhà của mình. Quý vị còn nhiều gì đó sự giúp đỡ của chùa. Hôm ấy cho hòa thượng Đức Tuyên Huy của viện chủ chùa Diệu Pháp và giảng chúng tôi biết, và chúng tôi sẽ rất là hỗ trợ. Nam mô Tiếp Dẫn Đạo Sư A Di Đà Phật Tán Đà chứng minh. Và để giúp cho những người có thể là hiểu tiếng Anh nhiều hơn là tiếng Việt, xin cẩn thận Đức Thánh Ông Trì có đầu đầu bên Việt Nam. Now I would like to invite Venerable Thích Ông Trì to share a few words. Thank you.
Namo A Di Đà Phật. First of all, I'd like to give off my condolences to all the dear family members and friends who are gathered here today. I understand that we're all here presently because of the recent passing of Cade. I also understand and see that he was a beloved son, grandson, brother, nephew, dear family member, dear friend to you all. And it breaks my heart to see and come to funerals like these when someone has passed away so suddenly. And I know that you care and love for Cade so deeply. And as you are present here, I can deeply sense and feel the great suffering you have, not only emotionally, but physically as well. And so again, I would like to express the deepest of my sympathies to you all for your loss here today. During the Buddha's time, well over 2,500 years ago, the Buddha was present on this earth. And although he was born as a prince, he understood and saw certain sights that motivated him to renounce his life of a prince. He saw someone that was old, he saw someone that was sick, and finally he saw someone that had passed away. Those sights motivated him to reflect on his own life, that no matter how much riches and wealth that he had, he was still subject to nature, subject to old age, sickness, and death. But once he saw an ascetic, a monk that was practicing, it motivated him to renounce his life similar to an ascetic, to be an ascetic, to search for the goal of enlightenment. And so once he spent many years, he eventually reached enlightenment and was fully awakened, and was able to overcome all stress, discontentment, and suffering. And he also led the path and showed us for us also to understand and to follow this path to overcome stress, discontentment, and suffering. And so obviously when someone we love and care for so deeply has passed away, we experience one form of suffering that is called the suffering of loss. The Buddha's remedy for us is his teaching to help us understand that no matter who we are or we come from, they must be subject to two laws, cause and effect, and impermanence. Every effect has a root cause, and therefore every cause must create an effect. And so if there's a cause of birth, no matter who you are, where you come from, rich or poor, educated or uneducated, whether you believe in the Buddha or not, the cause of birth must lead to the effect of death. But we're also affected by another law called the law of impermanence. And through this law of impermanence, things are in constant change, transformation, or motion. Through the law of impermanence, even though you sit still and these benches, the Earth is rotating over 1,000 miles per hour. Even though that may seem fast, this galaxy is moving over 1,000,000 miles per hour. As such, within our own bodies, there is impermanence happening within every moment. You can notice it within each breath that you take. Every breath you take in and out was different from the one you took earlier, and so no two breaths are the same. But once you have the cause or a good inside, but you cannot get outside, the effect means you must pass away. Or reverse, if you have a breath outside, but not inside, the effect means you must pass away. And so life isn't guaranteed through decades or years, but merely moment to moment, breath to breath. But from the Buddha's insight, he saw from his meditation that we have both a body and a mind, and both these things are subject to cause and effect and impermanence. The Buddha saw that death wasn't the ending of things, but the beginning of things, a transformation, a change, a rebirth. Once this physical body must return back to nature, our mind, since it is a component of energy, will move on forward, be reborn into new life. The next life, whether it's full of joy or pain, suffering or happiness, is not determined how much material we have, but rather through our karma or action. Karma or action being through body, speech, and mind. And to get a sense of cause and effect, you can understand the saying which goes, we ultimately will reap what we sow. And so, although it pains my heart to see that Cade has passed away at a very young age, it also, I can see that all of you that are here filling up this cathedral is a testimony, an example of the great love and impact that Cade has done in his rather short life. As you're all here, you all experience the love, the compassion, and the kindness that Cade has given you, and as a reflection of that, you're here to pay your respects, be present, and show your love in his last of his moments. What you can also offer for Cade right now is through your intentions and prayers, and our particular faith in peace, happiness, and joy. So whether you believe in the Buddha or God or any higher power, as you devote the power from your own faith, and to share that energy, that love for Cade, he can benefit in whichever method or form or way that you pray. Furthermore, other than in your intentions and prayers, I also encourage you to practice the Buddha's teachings. All the Buddha simply teaches us to avoid evil, to cultivate good, and to purify the mind. And as we learn from this, we see that it's only a life of practicing morality and ethics as best as we can. So whether you're a Buddhist or not, whether you're religious or not, one can see and understand the value of living an ethical and moral life, helping others, being selfless instead of selfish, patient and kind instead of full of anger, and most importantly, being wisdom. Wisdom to see that in times like these, like the Master has said, life is uncertain, but death is certain. But what is certain is that you continue to cultivate good actions or deeds, avoiding negative habits and actions. You not only benefit yourself, your family, or your friends, but in this moment in time, you can also think and dedicate your positive actions and karma, known as merit, for Cade, who has recently passed away, so you can control that energy for his next life. On behalf of my temple, you, Fab Temple, we very much appreciate you coming to us and come with need. If you have any other questions or anything that we can serve for you further, please again do not hesitate to ask the abbot of you, Fab Temple, that will deepen in our sweet life. And at this moment in time, could I please invite the representative of Cade's family to please come up to the podium. If you have any thank yous, eulogies, or anything that is on your mind, it is now time first for Cade's immediate family to come up to the podium and say a few words.
Upon each of us, in the endless ways he has enriched our lives. Talking with you is echoed by so many that love him dearly. He has deeply touched our hearts through his determined spirit, his sheer enjoyment of life's simple things, and by sharing the universal language of music through his beautiful essence of purity and joy. I'm Jen, Jeff's much younger sister, I have the privilege of being one of Cade's aunties. On behalf of our family, we would like to extend our heartfelt gratitude for your presence today. As Jeff has previously expressed, the love, affection, and acceptance you have shown to Cade over the years and was and is always appreciated and has never gone unnoticed by our family. Cade Jeffrey, born May 3, 2004, which we would always forget his birthday. Was it May 4 or was it May 3? And my husband would say, it's May 3. So we would remember. He's a son, brother, grandson, cousin, nephew, and he was also a lifelong student. In his brief stay, Cade has touched countless hearts, including yours. Thank you for joining us today. We want to wish each of you comfort and peace as you grieve his unique presence in your own lives. We rest assured that your personal Cade story is one you will deeply cherish forever. Hearing about Cade's positive impacts on your lives brings an overwhelming sense of peace and healing to our grieving hearts. Therefore, in loving memory of Cade, we ask that you not only share your memories with our family, but to also share the spirit of joy, empathy, and kindness openly with everyone, especially when it's not the easiest choice. We've all been there. Reflect upon Cade's traits that had the greatest effect on you, then be intentional to adapt those traits into your own life. Whether it was his infectious smile, his joyous sense of wonder, pure innocence of intention, his impulsiveness, that could be both delightful and a bit of a curveball, or his magical ability to mimic a musical beat with complete off-key commitment, a lot like his daddy sometimes. He deeply touched each heart in this room. May we all savor the beautiful gift he has given each of us individually and honor him, each in our own unique way. And always remember, we love to hear about it forever. As a lifelong student, Cade and his family were graced with the most amazing team of countless speech, occupational, physical therapists, general education teachers, and aides that lovingly guided Cade as well as his parents along the process. We are grateful to have so many of his team here today to share their perspective of Cade through their relationships with him. You all loved him through bad moods, sick days, setbacks, successes. We want to extend our heartfelt condolences, especially to you, teaching warriors, as you taught him to celebrate the seemingly smallest of accomplishments and to empower his individual strengths. In spite of all the teaching to Cade, I think that we can all agree that Cade was, in fact, our greatest teacher. And lastly, behind every legend, and Cade was indeed legendary, we want to thank the people and lift them up who supported him unconditionally day in and day out. It's supposed to be informal, right? I'd like to take a moment to lift up the most important people in Cade's life: Jeff, Nicole, Kiana, Grandma, Nana, and his aunts that got to live close to him. As one of Cade's therapists wrote, Nicole and Jeff have done an incredible job of raising an amazing son. We, your family and friends, wholeheartedly agree. For parents of children with special needs, the seemingly common tasks present great challenges. Jeff and Nicole tirelessly ensured that their son stayed content, independent, happy, and challenged despite countless obstacles, texture aversions, perseverative tendencies, unawareness of environmental dangers, and finally, a significant communication barrier. Cade's parents fought relentlessly for him to receive ample services, to provide him with a sense of belonging in a world that was not specially designed for him. Jeff and Nicole bridged a wide range of activities for Cade in order to include him in typical life events such as shopping, car rides, riding elevators, celebrations, get-togethers, weekend excursions, eating out, and vacations. Nicole shared recently with me that because Cade loved to travel so much, she and Jeff vowed to never travel without her. And they didn't. And this made for some infamous travel adventures, which some of you were a part of with her. They instilled the help of Grandma and Nana to keep things running smoothly for both Cade and Kiana. Grandma loved to cook for Cade and send him off to school each day. Nana moved in with them during the younger years and continued to be on call at a moment's notice. She recently spent the month of August with them and will cherish that visit forever. Lastly, as auntie to both, and all the aunties, to both Cade and Kiana, I'd like to take a moment to lift up Kiana, Cade's younger sister. She's a girl of few words, with the kindest, most genuine heart. To quote Sylvia Phillips, who was a special education teacher and advocate, the siblings of special needs children are quite special. Absolutely and totally loving them from birth, someone who is different mentally and has a different way of seeing the world is a wonderful trait. It's a trait I wish there was another way of getting, but there isn't. And it does involve a degree of not having it fantastically easy. Please lift all of these people up in prayer. Ashley, her family, thought, and love as they adjust to his physical absence in their home and day-to-day life. Along with the challenging moments, sharing a life with a child as special as Cade creates some funny situations and memorable laughs. After all, every survival kit should have a sense of humor. So here we go, this is the lightest part. Everyone that worked with Cade, I think, have each had their moments with Cade where communications completely failed. And his perseverative behavior prevailed over us. I'm sure we wouldn't have to think too long to think of a story relating to him that made us laugh. One of my favorite funny stories occurred during Cade's obsession with car rides. He was younger. We had just flown in for a visit with my daughters, my husband. He greeted us at the door and quickly went for his shoes. He was signing shoes. Keep in mind, we didn't live with him, therefore we were the second string. We were all pumped up, giving him kudos and oohs and ahs. And we were so proud of ourselves that we knew what he was saying, and everybody was, oh yeah. Until the second word, which stopped us in our tracks. He was attempting to say Target. He wanted his shoes, and he wanted to go to Target. However, what rolled out of his mouth was fuck it. He wanted to put on his shoes and go to fuck it. His wish, of course, was granted. Our girls then had a new lifelong name for Target. At times, Cade grew weary of the challenging therapy, but he continued to increase his verbal communication over the years. What he taught us was this: that a heart can be deeply touched with pure innocence, and that far surpasses all words in the world. Second story I'd like to share that never fails to make me laugh, is including my mom, which she does very well. She keeps us all laughing. She doesn't need to. Cade was 4 years old, and Anna was taking him to physical therapy. They were crossing an expansive intersection that had about 5 lanes across it. They were headed to the car. Directly in the middle of the crosswalk, Cade got stuck on the flashing lights. And he was unaware of the danger at hand. He just stopped in the middle of the street. Nana encouraged him kindly to come along, and she knew it was difficult to get his attention when he fixated on something, so she tells me she started to panic a little bit. Then she, in her nice way, nudged him along. Come on, Cade. Didn't budge. So she started getting a little more panicked. And she gave him another nudge. No luck. He wasn't moving. I wish I had been there to see it, but I can imagine. Then Cade gave his infamous groan that expressed, I'm annoyed with you, I'm not budging. We all have heard that one before. The walk sign had changed to don't walk. So in an act of desperation, she reached down, grabbed him, his legs kicking and his arms flailing, and headed toward the parking lot. They made it to the car. I can only imagine the scene as she was stuffing him into the car. I know she had broken a sweat. Relieved that she had conquered one more transition, they settled in for a calm car ride until she looked up in her rearview mirror and she saw flashing lights coming her way. Some do-gooder had called and reported that a child was being taken against their will and placed in a car. Guilty as charged, Nana. She didn't serve any jail time for this, fortunately. Cade has expanded our understanding of so many unique situations and created empathetic hearts for other children with special needs and their families. May we spend the rest of our lifetimes sharing funny stories and memories from the many adventures of Cade. Upon reflecting on Cade's impactful 19 years of life, I came across a quote from Sylvia Phillips, another one. Hang on tight and get ready for the wildest, saddest, happiest, most challenging, and most rewarding of your life. I think as parents, we can all agree that with the birth of our children, no matter how long we are blessed with their earthly presence, these words offer priceless wisdom and pretty much sum it up. However, the more I thought about this quote and Cade's perseverance through his journey, there became a shift in who I believe this quote is regarding. I believe since he was our gift, perhaps this quote was Cade's inspiration. He hung on tightly to the people who continuously showed up for him. Even though many times he preferred solitude, he wanted to be left alone with his iPad. He followed his desires, no matter how impulsive, which made for some wild rides. He experienced sadness and happiness when circumstances or others' behavior didn't comply with his desires. He was most greatly challenged with expressing himself, needs, his feelings, and his wishes. He overcame his biggest obstacle in his life and is what I believe to be the monumental gift he leaves us. It was his legacy of communication through music. Cade possessed a natural ability to quickly pick up the rhythm of a song, whether it was his iPad, a piano, or someone just simply singing. His people quickly learned if you wanted to gain his attention, music was your tool. Over the past weeks, countless friends and family have shared on Facebook and personally stories surrounding his love for music. The love, joy, and silliness that was inside his beautiful heart was communicated through song and music. Leonard Bernstein stated, music can name the unnameable, and it can communicate the unknowable. His favorite songs included Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen, which I've heard over and over again. I see all your heads nodding there. Fireflies by Owl City, Rainbow Connection from a Muppet movie, which was my favorite as a little girl. I did not know that was his until Jeff told me that recently. Jeff recently sent a video to me of Cade in the car singing along with Jeff to listen to the music by the Doobie Brothers. Jeff created a beautiful tribute video for his son with, of course, the song, First Run. I looked up the lyrics because I'm famous for singing wrong words to common songs for years until somebody looks at me and says, no, that's not what that's saying. So I looked it up, and I was both stunned and comforted with the significance of these lyrics for Cade. Music was truly his bridge to connect and share his love for all of us conditionally. The lyrics that touched my heart. People get ready for the news. Some are happy and some are sad. Oh, we gotta let the music play. What the people need is a way to make them smile. It ain't so hard to do if you know how. Are y'all singing it in your heads? Gotta get a message, get it on through. Like a lazy flowing river,
surrounding castles in the sky, and the crowd is growing bigger, listening for the happy sounds, and I got to let them fly. And Cade's message to us as he sang along with the Doobie Brothers ultimately was, whoa, whoa, listen to the music. Let's honor Cade forever. Always sing loudly and let your heart dance boldly to share and connect with others as you celebrate your unique story and purpose, just as he did. Fly high, buddy, in your castle in the sky, and we will always listen to the music while loving you, missing you, and carrying your legacy of determination for the truth that lives in our hearts. Enjoying life's simple moments and always sharing the universal language of music to touch the hearts of others and to survive life's challenges. And may we all learn to handle life's challenges as gracefully as you did. Thank you so much.
So, okay, I'm going to introduce a few people and talk and share some stories with everybody. So I wanted to start off by thanking our families. I wanted to thank everybody in Cade's life, especially our families that have been here to support us and to help us ever since day one. Everybody basically had a job with Cade. He put everybody to work. And so I want to thank his grandma, Nicole's mother. I think it's pronounced Bonglai on my Vietnamese, but I'm not sure. Her main job was Cade's gourmet chef. And so she cooked for Cade every day and night, in there slaving off over the stove, making sure he had the best meals, felt healthy and fed every day. And so I want to thank her and say you did an awesome job, Grandma. You took care of Cade. You made sure he's fed. You always was always there. Also, my mom spent first 2 years out here, lived with us to take care of Cade. Once we found out he was diagnosed with autism and Williams syndrome, and so she dedicated 2 years of her life living out here with us to help take care of him and make sure he had the best. Two stories I want to tell you about the grandmas real fast is that when Cade was walking 7, 8 years old, he could walk pretty good. And Kiana was a baby. We were in Chinatown, and weekend day trip in Chinatown was hanging out with Grandma, me, Cade, Kiana, and Nicole. Crossing the street, Cade's holding, Kiana's in the stroller, Cade's pushing the stroller, Grandma's holding the stroller, I'm behind, Nicole's behind. We're walking across the street, and Cade gets attention of the lights, decides to head for the lights. He takes off, he pulls the stroller over, Kiana goes rolling out, Grandma falls to the ground, I go running after Cade, Nicole picks up Kiana, some stranger helps Grandma up so she doesn't get run over when we finally make it across the street. So stories like that were always what Cade was famous for. And then Jenny told you another story where he almost got Grandma Nana arrested for child abduction because he was throwing a fit and didn't want to leave the grocery store. So those stories like that made everybody, gave us all great memories. The rest of the family was also awesome. I wanted to thank, Tina, Denise, Jean, Wong, all the cousins. They were always there to help out. And whenever we needed him, whether it was on trips, we went together and made sure he didn't run away, help him feed him. The cousins were there to help babysit Grandma when Nicole and I needed to go hang out with the friends and a day off. And so the whole family was always there. Jenny was there. Everybody was always there to help us. He also had influence on kind of our neighborhood. In fact, and I don't know, a lot of you guys know that I do a pretty big light show for Christmas, and that's because the Cade loved lights. And this ended up resulting, I'm talking about Oswald Christmas light display. It's huge. And so we did this every year for Cade because he loved lights and Kiana loved the lights. But the neighborhood also loved the display. And so because of his influence, it made the neighborhood kind of happy to see those lights go up every year. And so, so thank you to the entire family for everything that they've always done to support us and help us throughout this time. I think Gene and Carl, his uncles, wanted to say something real fast, so I'll introduce them.
Chris. Hello, my name is Carl Turpin. I am the uncle of Cade, and some of you are very confused right now. You know, there's certain moments in our life that's etched in our brain, certain days. I remember the moment when I heard about Cade on August 30th. You know, I remember where I was sitting. I remember what was said to me and my reaction. And it's seared into my head. And there's other events in life that are very good like that. And the reason why it's seared into our heads is because of the impact that he's made on us, that Cade's made on us. You know, if it wasn't for Jeff and Nicole and Kiana to take up that challenge, we wouldn't be all here and blessed to have this life. You know, they accepted that challenge, and they knew early on it was going to be a challenge, and they took it on. And the one lesson, the most important thing it taught me was to live in the moment, was to seize the moment. I mean, he did not hold grudges. He didn't think about the past. He didn't think about the future. I don't mean that in it. I mean, he didn't dwell on it like we do, like we get caught up in our minds. He literally lived in the moment. And that's what inspired me the most. That's what kind of that's why I always look forward to seeing him. And no offense to all you fine people here, but when I visited the Wiggins, I would look forward to seeing Cade the most. And, you know, when I would go there, I would have, my mind would be cluttered with all sorts of BS, I gotta fix the pipes or Luke is tardy. I mean, it just goes on and on when your mind is cluttered, but when I would go there and I would look for Cade, and I would see him and I'd sit on the couch and I would look forward to see when Cade came out, and then I'd hear his joy, I'd hear him laughing, and this clapping, and then all of a sudden my mind switched. It just, everything I was just concerned about, all that nonsense just turned off, and then I focused on what Cade was listening to, and then I would listen, and I would listen intently. And like, okay, I get it, high pitched. I said, yeah, that's pretty cool, and just like that, all of that was gone, and I was just focused on Cade. And it's moments like that where I could get into the moment. The most recent example is when my family went with the Wiggins to New York, and we were crossing Brooklyn Bridge, and we were doing it by foot. This might be my first and last time ever on Brooklyn Bridge, but you're crossing Brooklyn Bridge, and again, through my head, I'm thinking, see, how far should we go? How far can we go? When we get back to take the subway? Are we going to eat? Are we going to find bathrooms? All this while we're walking, and then boom, full stop. I'm like, why is everyone stopped? What's going on? And I look, I say, oh, it's Cade. So Cade's looking up. It's like, and I'm looking at Cade, and I'm like, what's he looking at? Looking at Cade, and then boom, lights. These beautiful lights on the building are just flickering. And I'm like, how on earth did I just miss that? I mean, here I am, we're on Brooklyn Bridge, first and last time, my only problems in my life. And I missed that, and he's staring at it. So all of a sudden, I do a full stop, and we noticed that. And it's like, so that told me, it's like, well, what is it really to live in the moment? What does that really mean? Is it just a cliche? It says, no, just follow what Cade does. He stops, he looks, he listens, and he smells. SLLS, sills. That's what he told me. It's so simple and so basic, and that's all you have to do. One of my biggest joys. So Cade has a superpower. Okay, he is an unsinkable swimmer, like unbelievable. He has had no swimming lessons, and supposedly, with these disabilities, he's not supposed to be able to swim. He swam beyond. I cannot believe he was like a buoy in the water, just absolutely unsinkable. And I would go outside, and the most enjoyable part, and I love this part, was when Jeff would go in there. He was like Jeff would go in there like the aircraft carrier, or like the USS Wiggins, going in the pool, just launching every sort of projectile, throwing everything you could imagine, and nothing fazed Cade. I mean, he would just enjoy that water. He would just laugh and splash, and yeah, that's one of the most remarkable. That's why I really enjoyed that. You know, I truly believe that Jeff and Nicole and Gianna were chosen to overlook Cade. I truly believe that because I don't see how anyone else could offer as much love and joy. Someone that could offer as much adventure. You realize Cade has experienced more in his life, in his 19 years, than my entire 52 years. He's seen more, done more. There's no other family that could have done that. I'm convinced of that. And I know we'll see Cade again one day. I know we'll see him in heaven. I know that Jeff and Nicole and Kiana were chosen by the Most High to look over him because they had the capabilities and they had the love to give him such a quality of life. But I know we will see him again. And it's not going to be like you're going to get a picture and say, where's Cade? Where's Cade at? No, you're going to recognize the spirit and the soul instantly. And you won't be mistaken because you'll recognize that spirit instantly. So I just wanted to tell Cade that I love him so much that he can't be replaced. There will always be a void. And one day we will see him again, someday soon. So.
I am the brother-in-law of Nicole. I'm married to Denise, Nicole's older sister. I kind of missed the format, so I'm going to be a little bit more formal than everyone else. There's some stories next to kind of some rock tradition what I speak. So here this can be. Cade's journey was unique, marked by the extraordinary love and care of his parents, Jeff and Nicole, and his sister Deanna. I still remember the day that Jeff learned that Nicole was pregnant with Cade. He was so overjoyed and filled with happiness that he gave her a big hug and lifted her off her feet. That was something I'll never forget. It was a moment that encapsulated the love and excitement that Cade brought into their lives from the very beginning. Months later, as Cade made his entrance into the world, it was not only Jeff and Nicole who welcomed in open arms, but my wife Denise, who was a labor and delivery nurse, was there to ensure that Cade's delivery would go as smoothly and as safely as possible. She was one of the first to witness the birth of this beautiful soul. So one of the remarkable things about Cade is his ability to spread love, joy, and happiness. He carried a bright smile, and his hellos and highs would light up the room and was a reminder of the simple joys of life. Cade never harbored any ill will for anyone, kind of like what Carl was saying. He showed us all what it truly means to love unconditionally. In his presence, we were reminded to find happiness in the smallest moments and to cherish the beauty of the simplicity. Cade may have left us too soon, but his spirit will live in our hearts forever. We will forever be a source of inspiration and a reminder of the incredible power of love. We will miss him dearly, but we are grateful for the time we had with him and the love he shared with all of us. I will truly miss Cade. Cade, rest in peace, and so we will go. Thank you. Okay, so you guys don't know, so Williams syndrome is a genetic condition that is present at birth and can affect anyone. It is characterized by medical problems including cardiovascular disease, developmental delays, and learning challenges. People with Williams syndrome may have a mild to moderate delays in the cognitive development, ability to think and reason, or learning difficulties. These often occur side by side with striking verbal activities, highly social personalities, and affinity for music. As you all know, Cade was very affectionate. He loved to give hugs. He would approach you and anybody on the street, anybody, and give him a hug. So that was the Williams syndrome kicking in. The autism was affected him a lot, just communication and delays and stuff like that. I want to thank Jennifer again, my sister, because once we identified Cade, it was diagnosed with Williams syndrome and autism. I called Jenny because she has a background, and she is educated with it, and she gave us exact and direct guidance and what we need to do to get him on the right track with different therapies. And so I want to thank her again for all that, because he was able to get started really, really early on in age with all his different therapies. So that included everything from ABA, applied behavioral analysis, speech therapy, physical therapy, occupational therapy, all kinds of different things like that. By starting him early, they began to better communicate, allowed us to interpret his needs and requirements a lot quicker. So that's kind of where Cade was at with everything. This, in which ended up resulting in him going to a special school called Villa Esperanza here in Pasadena. And I want to thank Villa for everything they've done for Cade. I want to give you a story real fast. So when Cade was still in kindergarten and in public school, I was at a meeting at the school for whatever reason. And as I was walking out of the school, I looked back and looked through the fence, and they were at recess. And I saw Cade standing in the corner, doing what Cade does, bobbing up and down, shaking his head, smiling up at the sky, and just being there all by himself, alone. And I felt really, really bad at that time, because I knew Cade probably be picked on, be bullied, be tormented, and a lot of different things at grade school, at school. But when Villa kicked in and we were able to get him to go to Villa, Villa specializes in schools with special needs. And so at that point, I knew the kids could be protected. And he was never going to have to worry about being, he was never going to have to worry about being bullied, being pushed around or threatened or anything, because Cade would be taken care of at Villa. So I want to thank Villa for that. Good. What they did, on my heart for taking care of Cade and being there to support him and looking after him and doing what it took. So he never had a bad day. Never had a bad day at school. I want to thank him very much. He had so much support over there. Sorry. One thing, Cade had a love-hate for school and therapy. In fact, every morning we'd get him up, we'd get him dressed. Well, every night I'd put him to bed, get him ready, shower, put him dinner. The first words out of his mouth was no school, no school, no school. At dinner, no school. At time, no school. Going to bed before I covered him up, no school. No school, no school. Woke him up, first thing wake up, no school. Getting dressed, no school, no school, no school. But once we got him dressed, got him up, got him round and around, got him in, and waiting on the couch for the bus to ride, he got in the car, went off to school, and had a great day at school every day. And so it was a love-hate. He wanted to sit at home and watch video iPad all day. And so it was a love-hate relationship Cade had in school and therapy. So, but I appreciate Villa with everything, and I appreciate all of his therapists that worked with him tirelessly and provided him all the services that they were able to provide every day on a regular basis. I don't know, is Miguel here? No? Miguel? I think Miguel had something. Miguel was one of his therapists. Come on up, Miguel. One of his therapists that worked with him on a regular basis. And he wanted to say something. And then is his teacher, Miss Beltran, here? Okay. And so you could come up too, and both of you could say what you'd like to say. So thank you.
Hi everyone. So for those who don't know me, I've been Cade's behavior therapist for 4 years. I remember the first time I met him, the first thing he was doing was eating Doritos, watching iPad, and watching those military videos of the guys just yelling. I remember just watching him like, okay, like I guess that's what he likes, and after that I really got to know Cade. Then the pandemic hit, and I remember the last time I seen him, he was on the iPad watching the military video still. So then, I think a few months went by, and then I came back because I was able to come back. And what was he doing? This time he was eating goldfish with the iPad and milk. But that's how I remember Cade, just living his best life the best way he could. We would go to the mall, and we were going to Bolero and Dave & Buster's, and he never played a game, not one single game, but he would just enjoy watching the lights and just sit there and watch for hours. I think he could go for hours till the mall closed, but I would only give him like 15 minutes because, I wanted to keep walking, go around, look at the mall and stuff. So he was just this very kind soul. Those days when I would see him and have like a bad day, I remember I would just stop, look at him and tell him, just give me a hug, man, I need a hug. And Cade would just look at me and be like, yes! And then he would just stand up, regardless of like the therapist that was there, and he would just come and give me a big hug. And those hugs were just, you could just feel the hugs, you just feel the pureness in Cade. And yeah, it's just the way I want to remember it for the rest of my life. So, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Miss Jasmine. I'm Cade's most recent teacher at Villa Esperanza. I've known Cade for the past 2 years. I know he had many teachers and therapists before I arrived, and thank you to everyone at Villa that took care of him before I arrived, because when I received him, I remember the day I started, he was there, and his smile. And he was definitely a foundation for the school, and he was very well liked by all his peers. And I can tell you that he was not alone. He had many friends, and on his break time, on his recess, he would hang out with his friends. And when some of his friends would see him across the playground or across the campus, they would yell out for him, or he would yell out for them. And I just thought that was so cool. I'm thankful to have known Cade. I didn't have anything prepared for today. I didn't know I was going to be ready to say goodbye. But I know that I will see him again. And thank you to his family. You guys have such an amazing family, and I just thought it was so cool that you would take all these awesome trips, and every break you would ask, where is Cade going? What is he gonna do? And every staff that worked with him just loved working with him. And we would always talk about all the fun things he would do and all the music that he would listen to, and even showing us music, hearing him sing. Sometimes I would hear him humming in the bathroom, and he would be humming Small World song after you guys took him to Disneyland. And just moments like that I will forever cherish. Thank you.
Okay, finally, so the last thing I wanted to do was, I wanted to thank all of our friends for accepting Cade and David and dealing with all his behavioral issues. Our friends are incredible that just accepted him into their lives. We tried to include Cade on all the trips and activities, no matter where we went. He was welcome at everybody's house, always catering to Cade and doing whatever it took to, make him happy. So things that, you know, I'm not sure what I said. Things that they would do is, I lost my train of thought. So we went on lunches with friends everywhere, and so we took Cade everywhere, and so no matter we went, our friends were the best, man. They understood the difficulty we had with Cade, but they were more accepting than anybody I've ever met. And so they've always been acceptable. They've always known how to deal with it. They've always never had any issues, never had any problems. Always stood up for Cade. I was always there to help us whenever we needed help with anything and everything, whether it be from lighting candles for Cade, because that's what he had to have. See candles or anything that needed. I can tell you a couple stories real fast on some of the trips we went. So we always went on trips with friends everywhere we could. And so one of the first trips we went on was out of the country, and what ended up happening was Cade, we got to the airport. Cade, he was fine up until we got to the airport, into the line, everything. But by the time we got in there and got in line, he started going crazy. He did not want to go to the checkout. He didn't want to do anything. And he pretty much shut down the TSA line at LAX. He was yelling and screaming. They were going crazy. We ended up having to get our flight delayed. And from that point on, we always put him in the wheelchair accessible line so we could move really, really fast and not have to worry about it. As he got older later, it became a lot easier. But that was always a problem. One of the flights we had to take him in the back and rock him because he was keeping the whole plane up and going crazy. But another trip we had was to Vegas, and this was a trip that we did on 4th of July, and it was at the Red Rock. It was at the Red Rock Hotel. But what ended up happening was we'd been at the pool all day. I took Cade up to the room. He ended up, just because he was tired. We'd been at the pool hanging out. He was tired, and so I took him up, and I had a few drinks. That's all it was. And so we went up to the room. He got him in the bath. He wanted to take a bath and relax. And so put him in the bath, let the water drip. He liked to watch the drip and just let it hang there. And I went to the bedroom and sat down there and watched TV. Next thing I know, the security was knocking at the door. I looked down and I noticed that the floor was flooded and he had flooded the room. And there was water going everywhere. They kicked us out of the room, put us out of the room. And luckily they weren't too bad, but he made it a very normal trip. He fought every activity we did, but once he got on board, he loved it. He did everything from kayaking, jet skiing, snowmobiling, rafting, ATVs. Everybody was very, very patient with him. Once we got him on board, I mean, on the rafting trips, he threw a fight. He would not go down, but once we got him, he was fine, loved it. All of our friends were very, very patient with him, and I wanted to thank all of our friends for that because they accepted it with open arms and they understood that, you know, it's Cade. So it's his way he's going to be. We all go down to Huntington Harbor and taking kayaking. He loved that. So he was always welcomed by all our friends wherever we went, everywhere, doing everything. And they always treated him as one of their own. They were always very, very patient with him. They always loved him and accepted with him. The kids did, everybody did, and understood the problems that we had with him. And I want to thank all of our friends for that. They were more supportive than that. You can imagine. Nicole and I and Keanu are so grateful to have you guys in our lives. So that's just a little bit I wanted to say about that, and thank everybody for it. So thank you to all of the friends and family for all the love and support over these last few weeks. We're grateful to have you in our lives. And has been a ray of light in our darkest hours, reminding us of the goodness in the world and the power of true friendship. You will be forever grateful, each and every one of you. Thank you again. I appreciate the love you guys have given to us, the love you guys have given to Cade, and accepted him as one of your own with all of his issues and everybody in his schools, his friends, his family. He's gone, he will never be forgotten. And thank you to everybody. Once again, thank you for coming today. Can somebody from the church come up here and help me out? Or come to the chapel?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I don't know what the next steps are. What?
So now you're welcome to do, Cade, talk to each other about memories.
Start from the very beginning.
Okay. So now just a time to celebrate him and talk to each other about stories and share stories.
What's the next step?
And then as you feel comfortable, you can come and view
I don't know.
Cade and
Generally, that's what we'll do.
So what do we do, stand right here?
We'll line the family up on the other side of the casket and then we'll have it in.
Okay, yeah. So you want us to say that or you want me to? All right. So, Kim and Nicole, come up here.
Immediate family. I also thank everyone for allowing our staff to be here in support of you today. At this time, if you wish to come forward by the casket to pay respects, we will dismiss you row by row, starting from the rear of the chapel coming forward. After you pay your respects by the casket, you're welcome to offer condolences to the immediate family before departing. Also, for those of you that did not have a chance to sign the guest book, we would ask that you please take a moment to sign the guest book on the right-hand side of the lobby before you depart here today. Once again, thank you all. At this time, please follow the direction of our associates. Thank you.
I'll give you directions in a minute. So we are, you guys want to meet us that time for food. All right?